Good afternoon. I just thought I'd clean this big old gun. Trying to come up with a name for it. I don't know yet. I think about naming it Boss something, but I need to put a clean to it because it's got some residue there. Some removes carbon, lead, and copper. Low odor. I love this stuff. It's good stuff. And I'm buying, these guns are for my grandchildren. So, but I found this Hobbs. It does really good stuff. I think. I don't know. I ain't no expert in nothing besides being a paramedic. I'm really good at being a paramedic, but everything else I have to learn on my own. Cleaning guns. I watch a lot of westerns on TV and the like. I never had no old man to teach me anything, and so everything that I learned, I had to learn on my own. I even had to learn to shave on my own. I had a guy ask me one time, I was in a firehouse, he said, "What do you shave like that for?" I'm like, "What?" He said, "Why are you going across the grain?" I went, I don't know, because I taught myself how to shave. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But I love a wheel gun, and because it's a really big gun, and I don't have to worry about it jamming or anything. And if it doesn't fire, you just go to the next one. And you can see videos about 38s and 357s and why they switched, when they switched. But my carry around's a 38 still. Why? Because it's a really good gun and it's made of metal. I don't need 13 shots. I just need what the police, I think, call cover. Not conceal, but some cover. And give me, and my size, I need a lot of cover. What's cover? I don't know. What's concealed? Well, I had a chief of police tell me one time the difference. He said, "You ignorant? Don't you know anything?" I was like, "No, not really." I said, "I know how to be a paramedic." He says, "How's that?" And I said, "Well, being a paramedic is really easy." "How's that?" And I was like, "Well, you only have so many systems to keep you alive." I said, "You got your heart, which makes blood go round and round. And anytime you get a leak in that system, you got to patch it up. And then you got to replace the fluid. It's like a brake line. And so, along with that pump, with that brake line comes a pump, and the pump's run by electricity. And sometimes that electricity quits, and you got to spark it back. And sometimes when it quits, it ain't never going to start back. And air goes in and out. If a person's blue, give them oxygen. If they're black, you don't give them nothing. Oh, I didn't mean it that way. Black isn't dead. Never mind with this video. But anyhow, you know what I mean. but you gotta keep your weapons clean. Speaking of blacks, I was a paramedic, and one of the most critical things in the world to being a great paramedic is knowing people's color. And it took me about 7 years just to learn color. And I'm not talking white, black, Hispanic, Asian. I'm not talking them colors. I'm talking about the color of a healthy person. What does a healthy black person's color look like compared to an unhealthy black person? Because as a paramedic, I don't care what race you are. I care what color you are. And I don't specifically care about what color you are, but I care about how your color is. And that's all I've ever done. And that's all I've ever worried about is somebody's color, not their race. I never looked at race. If I did, I wouldn't have worked in Atlanta or Texas or anywhere. I would have worked, I would have moved, I would have went to Norway or someplace like that. But I worked where I grew up, which was in Atlanta. And I like varsity hot dogs to this day. And I like watching TBS. If it was such a thing, I'd watch TBS on Sundays and watch the Braves football game. God bless Ted Turner, and even though he just died with dementia and lost his mind, I thought he was crazy anyhow for marrying Hanoi Jane. But gee whiz, she's crazy. I've met a bunch of celebrities, speaking about Hanoi Jane Fonda. I met somebody that sung a song one time. These boots was made for walking. I think that's about as clean as I can scrub that damn thing, and they ain't coming clean. So I guess that's just a thing with the gun and firing it all the time. Here comes the dogs, and here comes my nurse. Anywho, stuff does wonders. And I don't have to take it to the gun shop and get aggravated and them tell me that they have to run a background check on my guns. What's that all about? I rode a bus one time from Houston, Texas to Huntington, West Virginia on a Greyhound. 1986. I got somewhere in the middle of Louisiana in the middle of the night, and I rode a bus with some stowaways. They were what you could say eloping. I don't know where the hell they was going. And but anyhow, we got somewhere in the middle of Louisiana about 3 o'clock in the morning. They was younger than I was, and Dad had a shotgun. I was looking for him. But anyhow, we get to Louisiana, and we're over there about 3 o'clock in the morning, and some guy comes up, one eye, one leg, one hand, and I was eating a sandwich, one of them soy burgers from inside the vending machine, and he walked up and said, "Can I have that?" I said, "No." He said, "Are you eating that?" My sister did that to me one time too, damn it. And I said, no, you can have it. Please go away. You're scaring me. I never rode a bus ever again. Except for when I got married and I went to Hawaii. I'm fine. How you? And we got on public transportation and we went down to see the Titanic and got on a bus. That was an experience. Anyhow, what do you think about that? That looks pretty good, huh? What do you mean the Titanic in Hawaii? Are you crazy? Yes, I am. My wife keeps telling me there might be a snake out there. It's like there's always a snake out there. There's pythons and anacondas and cobras. Let's see. Y'all have a good day.